Say the reason why I'm running, because the state of agriculture today, we continue to lose massive amounts of farmers and ranchers because they can't afford to be in business anymore. So the reason why I'm running is because I had 30 years of investing in agriculture, being able to take small companies and scale them to large companies and help drive revenue growth. And that's what farmers and ranchers need because they can't control their expenses. Their expenses keep going up, and that's why they're going out of business. You know, when I was the CEO of Nature Nates, I had, my title was CEO, but it was also the Chief Stewardship Officer, because I looked at the responsibility that I had as the head of that company to steward the resources that God had given me: time, treasure, talent, and people. And so we created an environment where we inspired people to be able to operate in their best. And so when I think about leadership, leadership is not about making sure that everybody is there to accomplish what I want to accomplish. I'm a visionary. I help set the vision of where we want to go, and then I serve our team to help them be successful. So whether it's in business or whether it's in nonprofit space or whether it's even in government, that you can inspire people to their best to be able to serve those that you take care of. In agriculture, it's all the farmers and the ranchers. In Texas, you know, we've got one part of the state where we're fighting for property rights over in the eastern side, and we have a guy that's wanting to come in and exhibit and have his property rights, drill down and start to sell off that water, and everybody is up at arms. And so they're wanting to withhold those property rights. Then you go up to northeast Texas, where they're putting in the Marvin Nichols Reservoir, and they're eminent domaining 400,000 acres of people's farmland to be able to build a reservoir. And those people hate it. And then you go out to West Texas, and it's just the opposite. The challenge that we have is we don't have a clear vision for what we need to accomplish inside of Texas and even in agriculture. At the end of the day, I am a complete property rights ownership and let people steward the resources that they have and do it well. I mean, hold them accountable, because people tend to not always do things the right way.
Do you think the supercomputer companies, AI generation, and all that are going to have a larger effect on water than people once thought?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're building, I think there are 12 plants or 12 AI centers that are going into West Texas. I've got one just going north of me in Childress. I was talking with Senator Perry yesterday. We were up in Amarillo at the Farm and Ranch Show, and he was updating. He's head of the Water Senate Board, and so he was updating everyone on the progress of what's going on. And he talked about the AI data centers, and the amount of water that those require is massive.
Oh, it's astronomical.
It's massive.
And the problem with it is you can't recycle it. It evaporates. I mean, in other words, you put 1 million gallons on there, you might get 20,000 gallons to recycle.
Well, and they're trying to do closed systems,
right?
So they're trying to recapture the evaporation, but that's on the cooling area, and they're going to lose it anyway. So, you know, just to even charge them, it's millions of gallons just to fill the tank.
Right.
Well, the federal government took care of all the challenges that we've been experiencing here in the state, and so we need to follow federal regulations. I would say in terms of the hemp industry in Texas, you know, when you go look at Colorado, when you go look at Oklahoma, no one can really point to a state and say, man, that was really successful, that brought marijuana in. And there's a lot of organized crime that comes behind it. But the first organized crime that we had in Texas when the hemp program came in was Sid Miller's very own campaign consultant, Todd Smith, who told people there were only going to be 15 licenses. And if you want to guarantee that you got one of them, which the fee was $100, to give him $25,000 and he'll make sure you get one. So after he had $150,000 wired to his account, he was arrested, charged with felony commercial bribery, prosecuted. They subpoenaed Sid to testify last November, and Todd pled guilty, so Sid wouldn't have to testify. So you have his campaign manager that pled guilty to a felony of commercial bribery, but he couldn't be a lobbyist anymore. So he's out of work. So Sid hired him, and today he is the chief of staff at the Texas Department of Agriculture, being paid $250,000 a year, serving the very community that he was defrauding.
Right.
The duplicity is insane. There's a lot of needs for agriculture to be able to help people go into business. We're losing agriculture, daily. And we don't have an environment where young people can get into agriculture. And even if they can't afford to get into agriculture. One of the things that we're going to do when I'm Ag Commissioner at TDA is we're going to have a Veterans First program. We have 1.5 million veterans in Texas. I'm a veteran. And so the great thing about veterans, thank you. The great thing about veterans is they have income that they don't have to rely solely on that. The 122,000 farms that we lost last year, they're not the sideline hobby guys. They're the guys that are just trying to scale it a little bit bigger and do it full time. And it's incredibly costly and difficult for them to be able to be in business. So veterans are going to be the perfect people that we can come in and help get them into agriculture. They have federal grants that are available to them because of their veteran status. And we've got 166,000 acres of Chinese-owned land in Texas. Let's go eminent domain that. Let's go seize that. And let's go give that to all these farmers and ranchers that are veterans that want to be in the ag business. I've already signed a term limit commitment.
And if so, would you consider the term, what should the term be?
Well, definitely you can't run the fourth time. So listen, running this race is going to significantly impact my life. I've never wanted to be in politics. This isn't a bucket list thing. I've got my face on millions and millions and millions of honey bottles all over the America. I'm here because I want to help serve farmers and ranchers and clean up all the food that we eat. My own mom got breast cancer when she was 48. Nobody in our family had ever had it. She died from Alzheimer's last year. Nobody in our family had ever had it. And she said it was due to agriculture chemicals that she used in gardening. And so I think of how many people, farmers die far more regularly from cancer and ALS and other diseases because of the way that we do agriculture today.
Poison.
And we have a pandemic of epidemic proportion of chronic disease. And we are allowing foreign companies to poison us. And we go and we get all bent out of shape, and rightfully so, about guys coming across the Gulf with fentanyl and cocaine, and we're bombing them. Yet we have no problem with these companies selling us things that we're using to grow food that's killing all of us. I am a fan of Bobby Kennedy.
I think he's doing a great job.
He's doing a great, between he and Brooke Rollins. President Trump really sees agriculture as a national security issue. And that's the reason why he actually put out a national security policy. But he sees, he's a business guy. He's super smart, but he sees the connection between the health and our agriculture.
Right.
And that's why he has that dynamic duo in there. And, I've been a big supporter of Donald Trump's all the way back to 2016. I've given him a lot of money. Matter of fact, my opponent was out stumping last year for Donald Trump, so he could be the Secretary of Agriculture. And he called me and said, "Hey, would you send me $15,000?" And I was like, "Why?" "Well, I'm out stumping for Trump." And I'm like, "Well, I've already given a lot more than that, so sure." So, luckily that we have a president that understands it. And he was even talking about bringing in Argentine beef. That whole move was purely to try to lower consumer prices. He has immense pressure right now to make things more affordable.
Right.
But he also realized, or someone told him, that it's the four meat packers where it's really the challenge that control 85% of the market.
Right,
that make 70% of what is produced for $1 food and protein. And it used to be what the farmers made. The ranchers made 70 cents and the packers made 30 cents. Now the packers make 70 cents and the ranchers make 30 cents.